Guys, I have some exciting life updates to share with you all. If you've been wondering where I've been, especially after being so frequent in my uploads to YouTube and then taking a slight step back, I'm here to tell you the reason for that. And it is because I have joined a startup. Now, this is something that, number one, was not planned at all, and number two, something that I really didn't think I was going to do, especially after having left the corporate world to work on my own business. I really didn't think I would ever consider or go back to a quote-unquote job. But as fate would have it, the opportunity presented itself, and it presented itself under the right set of circumstances. Think of like the movie Hercules, when all the planets align so the Titans can be freed. Basically that happened. So if you recall in one of my previous videos, I mentioned how I was at a birthday party for one of my friends, and at that dinner, I met an interesting person who happened to be a successful business owner. And I ended up having a really nice conversation with him. We built some good rapport, and we stayed in touch since that day. This was about a month ago now. Most of our conversations evolved around business and also sharing some personal interests that we have in common, such as, interest in biohacking, health optimization. We both have an Oura ring, similar affinity to certain books and topics. We really had a lot in common, and every time we met during the time that we spent together, things always naturally flowed. And it just so happens that a couple of weeks ago, I woke up to a text message from him essentially saying that he was in the middle of running a startup, and he was actually looking to hire more people to work with interesting people and people who can contribute to the vision. And he approached me because he essentially thought that I would be a good fit. And of course, in our previous conversations, we had mentioned that I also had a business, and that was like my main focus. But despite that, he still felt that he could offer me some value in that regard because he saw the enthusiasm that I had and that I shared with him, and of course our mutual interests. And he believed it would be a good mentorship opportunity, and that he would not expect me to completely give up on working the business, that he is fully aware and understands also the time commitment that has, and that we could work around that. To be honest, to me, this sounded like the perfect scenario, especially because all of my conversations with him were trying to learn as much as possible, because he is clearly successful and established in what he is doing, especially when it comes to the skill set of building and scaling a business, which is something that I am extremely interested at this point. And I could not believe that just how organically and naturally the opportunity presented itself. And that is essentially the reason why I slowed down my posting frequency the past couple weeks. It's been a lot of work the past 2 weeks because I've been juggling the two, like my business and that work. But I cannot be more excited, more energized, and more enthusiastic for what's to come. I've gotten the opportunity to be involved in a lot of, let's say, situations, specifically management situations, that I personally still hadn't faced at this point, because it's a much larger team. And sure, I worked for businesses in the past, but now I'm more on the business side of things, let's say more on the decision-making side of things, with a larger team and larger resources than the ones that I have for my own business. And it's been really gratifying to be able to be exposed to all that. And of course, the opportunity to learn from his mentorship is amazing. It's just great. So in summary, that's what I've been doing the past couple weeks. And I wanted to make this video just reflecting, because when I used to work my 9 to 5, I remember just thinking, obsessed with the idea of escaping to work on my own business. But at that time, I had no business experience. All my experience was, let's say, as that of a grunt worker. I'm an engineer, so all the work that I was exposed to and my tasks and the responsibilities that I have, as well as the authority that I had, was limited in that regard because I was working under too many levels of management. But now I have the opportunity to be at a higher level, or at least when it comes to decision making. And I am really enjoying that opportunity to develop that skill set, because it is fundamental, I believe, especially in this point of my business journey, that I feel that skill set in particular is the one that is acting as a bottleneck right now for my own personal business. And so I discussed this with him, that the intention is to also use whatever skills, resources, and experiences that I learned from working in the startup that I can apply to my own business. And it's overall, it's only been a few weeks, but so far it's been a really, really amazing experience. So that's it, guys. Wanted to do a quick update video for you, let you know that yes, the channel's still alive. I'm still gonna be posting. I'm also gonna have more interesting content to share now that I have additional perspective and experiences that I can bring to you. So stay tuned for that. But as always, I do want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates on the channel, and I will catch you on the next one.